And now I would like to welcome our next presenting guest, Dr. Antonietta Rozzi from Italy. She is an esteemed educator and yoga authority, holding positions like Professor of Pedagogy and Yoga at the Universities of Bologna and Bolzano, as President of Sarva Yoga International and Honorary President of Federazione Italiana Yoga, with 45 years of yoga practice and mentorship from masters like Swami Chidananda. She is participating in global health initiatives. Please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon to all. There is some advantages in being the last speaker in a conference, is that many things has already been said, well and brilliantly explained by many experts. So I could say that I thank really very much the organizer, Thomas, and his wonderful team. It's so a pleasure to thank Dr. Tanga Valerio because he gave me the opportunity to be here. And it's not only a conference, it is an experience. As I said, many things have already been explained, so I will try to do some experiments with you and not speak as I have planned to present yoga, because many Indian experts have explained many things about yoga and Ayurveda, much better than I could do. I would like to just show in pills, with you the short time, how we can import from another culture a science, a very noble science, with the full respect that we have to give to all culture. But the respect must be also bilateral. Also, the importer of the science must be respected. So that maybe we have to plan some strategies to mix our experience and our knowledge in different cultures. We live in an even more and more globalized world, so this kind of respect is really needed to create, to build a peaceful society and not create crises or conflicts. So I would try to show you some way where I have been able to introduce yoga in some different and difficult fields sometimes. We live in Europe, the whole Europe culture, and in our feelings, science is not so well noble and accepted unless it is entered into the academic world. We are a little bit snob in Europe, is it? Also, those who practice, those who teach this kind of new entry in our culture are seen like some underground culture and are not so well accepted unless they have also a recognized official title. That's why I have founded an association which is called Sarva Yoga International, with the support, I must say, of many of Indian yoga institutions to preserve and to respect the true tradition of yoga, because yoga is a science, is an entity, is a structure, and we have sometimes the predatory attitude or colonialist attitude to take from other cultures what is suitable for us, but reject what is not suitable for us or we don't like so much. We have to accept the culture in its totality and in its complete form. So that's why this association has this goal, and it has been supported by the main institution of Indian yoga. And also, it has been accredited by Ayush Ministry of the Indian government. It means that the title, the diploma that this association can give is an official state diploma. Yes, of course, in India, but India is not the last country when we spoke of yoga. It's the second biggest country population in the world, and it is the land, the birthland of yoga. So we are very proud of that, but it's the first step how we can improve and give more dignity to all the practice we are doing, every one of us, in our different branches. And also, I started to teach at the university. This is also the second adventure of my life. And it's not easy to introduce some new concepts, some new visions, some new perspective in an already established field and established situation. So I would like to show you just some example, to be more practical, how we can introduce yoga in this field. My field is the education, so I introduce in Faculty of Education. The first strategy that I adopt is to be a polite guest and not to criticize what has been done before, because it's true that there are no perfect educational system. But it's true also that our educational system, and it could be the same in other fields, is the result of many work, many intelligences, many teachers that have structured it. So this is the first strategy. The second and more important strategy is to find a common language. Because if I start saying that yoga is a science, and a science that brings us to the Atma, I am afraid that my student will not understand anything. So we have to translate sometime without changing the true nature of the teaching, translate in such a way that we can understand each other. Because when we don't understand something, we close the door, and there is a kind of reject of this topic. And also, to integrate what we are bringing as a new topic with what is already known to them. This is a principle of learning and teaching in psychology also, to start from known knowledge to build and add new knowledges. So this is the way. Why I say that yoga is a science? As a Westerner, we want to know what we are talking about. We give title also for this conference. So the first thing we ask when something is new is a definition. It's so difficult to give definition, and I will not speak about the many definitions of yoga, but we can call it a science because it has a background and such a huge, deep knowledge of what? Of human being, of the creation, of the universe, of the life we are living. And it's this huge knowledge, this huge theory of this science is reflected also in some instrumental, we can call in modern word technology. There is the theory of yoga and there is the technology of yoga. How can I go? The technology of yoga is very well structured, very sophisticated, I would say. But at the same time, it is also simple. Yoga is an empirical science. Unless we don't practice yoga, we don't have benefits. We can talk and learn and read theory of yoga, but the true result is through the practice. So from this deep knowledge, yoga has structured several instruments based on the feeling and the knowledge of unity of all what exists. The question was, in my talk, is yoga a medicine? Strictly speaking, not. It's not a medicine. But there are so many positive side effects in the practice of yoga that we can say that yoga is also structured to maintain health, to maintain wellness, or to recover when we lose our health and wellness. We will give some examples. I would say that it is the quintessence of medicine, because medicine, as all kinds of medicine, has as the goal to eliminate suffering, pain, illness. And the final goal of yoga, which is difficult to explain to the new people or new students, is an infinite wellness, an unconditioned wellness. We experiment joy, happiness in life, but this joy, happiness has always a cause. And when there is not this cause, we experiment suffering or pain. We are happy because we are in love. We are happy because we maybe win a lottery. We are unhappy if there is a crash in economy, and so on. The kind of wellness and happiness yogis speak about is the fullness, the totality, the quintessence, the beauty, all what we can imagine that a continuous state of happiness, and it is called ananda. So in some way, medicine and yoga can meet at this final point. It is a precise methodology. It is very well structured because the basis of yoga is a knowledge of how human being is working, how it functions, and how it should be at its best. It's also a universal science because the inquiry of the yogi are not social inquiry, we can say. They're not so much interested of how function the human being in Africa, in Europe, or in India at the time of prehistoric time of nowadays, because they have understood that the problem, the issue that human being has to face are the same. One of the big issues is to give a sense to our existence. Why we exist? What is this life? And what is the goal of this life? And these are questions that our normal mind is not able to answer, because it's not built for that. It's like a computer program. The computer program can give many information, but they have limits. We have to understand and know the language of this program. And I would like just to give an example to show how yogis has understood our structure, our unified structure. We are a whole. We are not made of single pieces, but all these pieces are integrated together. The name are in Sanskrit, it doesn't matter. But the color we can see, the violet is the body, Ananda, Maya Kosha, which is the body made of food. There is a red body or a red sheet, which is prana, Maya Kosha. And it's a very interesting body or constituent of our nature, because it's, on one side, the energy, the entity that sustains and gives life. For yogis, it's not so difficult to define what is life and what is death. in our modern science, sometimes there are conflicts also in defining what is that. For yogis, that is when prana, this energy, leave the body, because it's a kind of glue that maintain all the other sheets. And another interesting sheet that I would like just to notice is the 2 layers of mind. They explain we have 2 layers of mind. The first one, Manomaya Kosha, which is the same root that man and human being, is what we call in our culture psyche, all the function of mind, cognitive, emotion, memory, and so on. The other one is more interesting because it's called Vijnana Maya Kosha. Jnana is a kind of knowledge which is more than knowledge. It's not a rational deductive knowledge, but it is an intuitive knowledge. In short, it is as if we hereditate, together with our biological DNA, a kind of spiritual DNA, some memories of what we were or what we are really, what we are going to go. This kind of question that the other mind is not able to answer to, and the kind of question that is sometimes difficult to afford and create some anxiety also in human being. It's what we call mysteries, because we don't know how to utilize, for example, in education also, this kind of powerful mind we have. This mind has a different language. It's not the common language, but it's like a computer where we have many files, but we don't know how to open them. We need the keywords. The keywords to open this intuitive mind is symbolism. And it has influenced a lot also our modern psychology, like Jung, as you may know. These are really few examples of the deep knowledge. Yogis has invented the lifelong learning, because the progression of life is continuous, follow along the life, and also the deep, long knowledge. And it is a science for tomorrow, because it gives hope. It gives the possibility to go behind our limits and go toward the kind of ideal human being as all of us should be. In all our components, there are structures to be more healthy physically, and they are extraordinary. There are structures to be more healthy mentally, and there are structures also to lead us step by step to this final and unconditioned happiness. This is a very short view on yoga, but this is the way that I try to introduce in education. And I ask them, to my students, do you know who invented internet? Of course, they know all the words, all the names. I say, no. A long time ago, yogis has invented internet. They know that we are all connected inside and with the outside world. And the field of exploration of yogis is the inner world, the inner universe, which is vast, exciting, wonderful, and fascinating as the outer universe. This is a sense of unity also in yoga. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. Thank you.
That was our last presenter, Dr. Rozzi. We thank you so much for your explanation and presentation on yoga. It was very beautiful and profound, and it was very appreciated by all of us.